guys, welcome back and Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I figured we would start the new year off with no makeup on. So I wanted to just do a simple basic video, get ready with me, try on, play with makeup type of thing. And I have my basket completely filled with nothing but drugstore makeup. I did buy some new drugstore makeup with some gift cards I got for Christmas. I went to Ulta, picked up some things from Flower Beauty. I got some other things that I wanted to try, like the Catrice foundation that I hear everybody rave about. I got this Glow Activation Primer from Joa. I actually got a couple things from them. Let's see, what else did I get? This Revlon Cushion Lip Product. I did get this Physicians Formula eyeliner. This is not by any means new, but I remember hearing people rave about this and I never was able to find it anytime that I was shopping. Found it, thought I'd buy it. So yes, everything in here is drugstore. Some of it is not going to be new. Maybe it's new to me, maybe it's not new at all, but it is all drugstore. So I figured we would just do a full face and play around with some makeup to start off the new year. So let's go ahead and get right into it because I'm sure this is probably gonna be a little bit longer. Okay, so to start off, we have the Glow Activator Radiance Primer from Joa. I got this at CVS. They are like a K-beauty brand that CVS carries now, so I'm gonna pump a little bit of this. I don't know if you can tell. It's got like little gold sparkles in there. So we'll see. I'm just gonna start with a little bit because I really don't know how much to use. It is very like hydrating feeling, very slippery. Okay, I don't think that did anything for my pores though. We're just gonna leave it alone though because I don't have a pore filling primer from a drugstore. Let's see. Okay, so next up is the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's supposed to be mattifying and a second skin effect. I got the shade Light Beige. I have no idea if this color is gonna work for me. They had very limited shades when I went, so I just took a guess. I'm gonna try buffing it in with this Luxie round top blender brush. Just gonna put a little bit on here. I'm not gonna drop it on my face. This isn't Instagram. Okay. That might be a little too light. Okay, that doesn't look too bad now that I've kind of blended it out. I think I can make this work for me. Alright, so that's the foundation on. It's definitely a little bit light. I guess I'm just really used to using the BB creams, and I use kind of like a more tan shade when I do the BB creams because it's, you know, sheared out. So this is definitely a little light for my preference. And I do not like the way it's sitting on top of this primer. But again, that's, you know, sometimes when you try a new primer and a new foundation at the same time, it's not a good idea. So I definitely think in the future I would use it with a beauty blender and a pore filling primer. If you have any suggestions, if you've tried this foundation before, please let me know. So next up is concealer. So I have actually used this before. I just don't remember if I've used it on camera. I do actually like it a lot. This is from Joa also. It's the Truly Yours Dark Circle Concealer, and I have the shade Porcelain. I can already tell you it's too light for me, but I can make it work under the eyes. It works just fine. I mean, it doesn't look, yeah, it's pretty light. But you know, usually I blend it out and then I will usually go over the top of it with a little bit of my Garnier Clearly Brighter Anti-Dark Circle because it has just a little bit more of a peachy tint. It just gives a little bit of warmth to the eyes. And I'm gonna blend that in with the brush. All right, and then just for the sake of showing you, I will go over the top a little bit with my Garnier. So you can see that it has a bit more of like a peachy tone. It's very sheer though. But I still, to this day, I've been using this for years and I keep going back to it because I just love it. I feel like it's really hydrating under the eye. It doesn't make my eyes get really dry, and I do feel like it helps with the dark circles. I mean, I've never been a full coverage gal, as you guys know, but I like the way it works for me. All right, I am gonna put some of the concealer on my lids because I don't have a eyelid primer. I'm gonna do a little combination, I think. Okay, so to set all of this, I'm not really using a traditional setting powder, and I don't even know if they still sell this. If they do though, I love it. It's from Hard Candy. It is their Sheer Envy color correcting powder. It's just, you know, a bunch of different colors. And I'm just going to swirl my brush in there and just tap it over. All right, so we definitely need to warm the face up, so I'm just gonna go into the Wet n Wild. This was one of the Dragon bronzers. This one is the shade You're Dragging Me Down. I'm also gonna just take a little bit extra into the contour areas because I don't have a contour to try out. I usually don't purchase multiples of face products just because I tend to stick to the same face items. I think I've repurchased that Maybelline BB cream I showed you guys in my favorites. I've repurchased that 3 times. Literally, it's all I ever use in my videos and like in my personal life. So same thing with bronzer. I mean, I purchased this one just because of the whole dragon theme, but otherwise I was using my Physicians Formula bronzer over and over. I'll try new blushes, new highlighters, things like that, but the basics, you know, bronzer, face powder, I just find something I like and I stick to it. That's just me. For my blush and highlight, I'm gonna go back into this little guy that I purchased not long ago. It's from NYX. It was their Paradise Fluff, kind of like ombre highlighter. I call it a highlighter blush duo, but this is the shade Head in the Clouds. It looked like this. So I'm gonna go into this little pink one right here and just pop a little bit of that on the cheeks. I think I'm gonna hold off on the highlighter because I might use one of the shadows. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and we'll work on the eyes. All right, so first let's do eyebrows. I actually thought I had purchased something new. I must have stuck it back and not realized it, but I was trying to pick up the Flower Beauty, the little 3 brush pen type of thing. Must have set it back. If you guys have tried that, let me know if it's worth it. But this is kind of a little method that I do like to use as far as drugstore products go. So I like to start out with this Milani Brow Tint Pen, and I use the shade Dark Brown, and I just go over. As you guys know, I have my eyebrows microbladed, but they are severely faded. You can see kind of like the shape that's left behind. I do need to get them redone, but this at least kind of helps give me a guideline of what to follow. So that for me just helps cancel out any of the kind of gray tone from the faded microblading. So then I like to go over it with a brow pencil and just do some strokes. And this one is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. All right, and those are the brows done. It's definitely not my favorite way to do them. I just prefer the Anastasia Dip Brow, but for drugstore, these are decent items. And honestly, most days I will just do this brow pen, and then I'll take a little bit of my MAC brow pencil and just do a couple of strokes in the front of the brow, since that's where I have absolutely no hair. So let's go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow. I did pick up this cute little palette from Flower Beauty. For some reason, the little plastic part of it is fallen out. So I don't know what happened there, but these are the colors here. I just thought they were really fun with this kind of iridescent purple and the lime green. Let's kind of swatch it real quick. Oh, it's very creamy. Let's see, I'll just do a little arm swatch. Okay, so those are the shades, kind of some quick little messy swatches. I think this could be really pretty. So I'm just gonna play around and do an eye look. All right, so let me catch you up with this eye, show you what I did, and then we'll move on to the liner. I also forgot to mention the name of this palette. This one is Austin Downtown Dusk. I think they were named after different states. It definitely seems like there's different formulas in here. You got 2 mattes. These 2 are like shimmeries. This one has some glitter in it. These 2 almost seem very creamy to the touch. So I don't know. I was thinking about using this for a highlighter. I just don't know if that's going to work now. We'll see. I'm gonna start out with this really light orange and just run that through the crease. These are also incredibly powdery. They work nicely on the lids, and I am tapping them off before I put them on my eyes, but like in the pan, just the tiniest little bit, and it's just kick up city. So I'm definitely making sure I get this blown out a good bit onto the brow bone. Out here. And then that same brush, I'm gonna just go into the deeper, I don't think these have shade names, they don't. I'm gonna go into this deeper rusty color, focus this on the outer portion of the lid and on the lid itself. And I'm just gonna drag the tiniest bit over, but not much at all, keeping it more in the crease. And then just, again, focusing on the outer portion. And then once back into the light orange, just to kind of brighten up this and go over the top of the deeper color. So it's just very soft. They blend together really nicely. This is the first time I've tried the Flower Beauty formula. I am gonna cut the crease. To stay with the drugstore options, I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer. I really love this concealer. It's just the one that I originally purchased is way too dark for me. But you know, works fine for a cut crease. And just tap that in. All right, and then I'm gonna go over the top of it with the lime green. I tried using a wet brush on the other eye. I think it's just gonna work better with my finger. And then I'll get into the detail areas with a brush. And then with my finger, I'm gonna go into this kind of deep bronzy shade. This is one of the ones that I said feels like it's a cream. I'm just gonna pack this on the outer portion of the lid. And then I'm just gonna overlap the bronze and the green in the center to blend them. All right, and then I'm taking this tiny little detail brush. This is the Pro 6M from Furless. It's likely makeup collab. You guys have seen me do this, but I did want to just kind of point out why I do it. For me, because I have a lot of movement to my lids, it can be like kind of hard to get a really sharp cut crease with your concealer. So if you have that problem, you can always go back in with a really tiny brush and just go right over the top of the cut crease with whatever your deeper shade was, whatever your deeper transition shade. Just do a quick little tiny line and it just makes that cut crease look sharp again. I'm actually going to mix both the light and deeper orange together to do this. And I feel like that just really helps. And like I said, if you have kind of more movement to your lids or slightly older eyes, you know, I'm in my 30s and I've always had a lot of movement on my lids. This just definitely helps. Just buffing a little bit more of that light orange over the top of everything. And I'm also gonna add a smidge more of the deep color out here on the edge. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into this deep sparkly purpley shade. And I'm gonna first stamp this as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm gonna just do it lighter as I get to the inner portion. And then with a pencil brush into that same purple color, I'm just gonna run it underneath it to smoke it down. And then for the inner corner with another pencil brush, I'm going into this very light shade right here. I'm popping that on the inner corner. And then you guys know me, goes a little below and a little above. While we have this out, I'm now finished with the eyeshadow. I'm gonna see if I can get this to work as a highlighter. I'm gonna try it with this brush right here. This is Moda M12. We'll see if I can get this to work as a highlighter. Oh yeah, okay, it's working. So that's all for this palette. I'm gonna put this away until I can fix it. All right, let's do liner next. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. So it's supposed to have a boosting serum in it. I got ultra black, so let's try a wing. Well, that was a bust. It's not even that black, not even on my hand. It's kind of almost brown. I mean, that's not like the ultra black. It's very liquidy too. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of bleeding into the lime green shade. So that's disappointing. Let's see if I can fix this eyeshadow. Luckily, I bought 2 eyeliners recently. I'm a little hesitant to try this one, but I also picked up this NYX That's the Point kind of jumbo eyeliner, but I'm gonna see if I can make this work. All right, so I don't know how I feel about this one either. It still kind of did a little bit of the bleeding on that inner portion of the lid. And it wasn't the easiest to use. I've kind of really been liking this liquid eyeliner from NYX. This is a little tricky. But yeah, if you guys have kind of like more textured lids, if you have that issue with your eyeliner bleeding on the inner portion, and if you found a good liner that you like that doesn't do that, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I'm not a fan of either of those eyeliners. I think I ended up with 2 different wings and they're really big. So I kind of ended up doing like the little check, like square down. It's kind of a little trick if you have hooded lids, if you want it to be able to look nice and straight across, sometimes you have to kind of angle it down. I don't like doing that personally because I like to be able to do a nice shot down and I like it to look smooth, but it works for straight on. Okay, I don't have a new Drugstore mascara, so I'm just gonna use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. I am gonna do some black in the waterline with my good old Lottie London black pencil. It's Drugstore. I think technically you can only get it at Ulta though, but I like it. And then for lashes, should be no surprise, I'm going to do the Ardell Wispies, probably my favorite Drugstore lash. All right, for lips, I have two. I think I'm going to layer them. We'll see. So first up is the Revlon Kiss Cushion Lip Tint. I have never tried one of these before. There we go, I'm starting to see some color. Oh goodness. I went with orange. Let's just go with it. That's pretty. So this is actually the shade Coral, no, High-End Coral. And I don't like it by itself like this, so I'm glad that I went ahead and picked up this little guy right here, which is one of the NYX Duo Chromatic Lip Glosses from their holiday collection. So this is the shade Shimmer Cravings. Okay, let's see how it goes over the top of this. All right, I like the color combination over the top of the coral. Obviously, I think this would be really pretty over the top of a nude or even like a really pretty deep brown. That would be really pretty. Here, I'll show you guys what the color looks like on its own. I'll just swatch a little bit on my hand. That's kind of the color that you're getting, but it is really pretty over the top of the coral. It's not super glossy like I was expecting it to be, but it is very buttery and smooth. So I like it, it's very pretty. All right, so that's all for this video. I definitely had fun kind of putting together all these different drugstore items, and it was definitely fun trying out some new items. If you guys have some fun new drugstore recommendations that I didn't have here in this video, let me know below, because I kind of have been out of the drugstore game for a while. I buy a lot of Hot Topic eyeshadow palettes, so I don't usually go for new drugstore eyeshadow because usually I'm just buying like indie brands or Hot Topic stuff. So let me know if you guys have some favorites that you love or would recommend. I definitely liked that Flower Beauty one, and honestly the only reason I picked it up is just because the lime green kind of like spoke to me as I was walking past it in the aisle. Usually the drugstore stuff is just kind of meh in my opinion. But yeah, if you know of like a great formula or whatever, let me know. But yeah, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.